Warning, 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 warning. This is a Emergency Broadcast. Code Red, hold on, Code Red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and have me and listen to Uncle the Podcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's gonna hit the eardrums. Uncle the Broadcast.
You are listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name is Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Here with me is the star of the show, Uncle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we're back on Friday night. We have 186, I believe this is, and we have a special guest.
We
on
do.
The line.
This is exciting.
Exciting. Yeah, I've heard it's somebody that I reviewed on the talk show. Listening to him.
Yeah, you watched.
Morning.
You watched.
I mean, this afternoon, the evening. Then he gave it to me to
yeah,
listen to what he sounds like.
I gave you a little preview of his
Of
stuff.
what this fellow is like.
You watched.
I think he's like one of those guys, little cartoons. He loves a lot of cartoons that we hide. His mother hides, but we go after these worm games, and and I think he does these kind of things.
Mm-hmm. He's a cartoon lover extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Tonight on the show, we have Robbie Martin.
Robbie Martin is his name, I believe.
Hi.
Oh, hi there.
Thanks for having me, guys. Good to be with the family.
Yeah. We were just talking there, Robbie, that I was showing an episode of MAME Politics to Uncle. And Uncle, what do you think of that?
Very interesting. I was trying to see what you were actually talking about. I believe we threw the quarter down. And I think it was because of, these little kids when they get on the machines,
The arcade games,
the
right?
arcade games. And I believe that's what he was talking about. This kind of games.
Yeah.
And that's what I was, oh no, he was just playing that. And here he's talking about it. And I think that's what he was mainly talking about when I was looking.
Does that sound familiar, Robbie?
Does that feel familiar?
Yeah, it's kind of familiar. It sounds like he took a glance at it. Yeah,
that's what I did.
I think it was the Mortal Kombat episode. Is that the latest one?
Kombat, right.
That was Mortal Kombat Gold. Yeah.
That
was their 75th episode.
Nice.
Yeah, I sure like
the 75th. Jeez,
I sure like to know those things on the iPad, but you know how that is. His wife is saying, I give him money. And there's but I have enough of them to play on. So I got enough toys and things to play on, actually.
Yeah, we got to limit our screen time, all of us, Uncle.
This thing, and I go nuts. I go nuts with them playing them worm game. It's a worm thing.
Yeah, he's talking about like you're talking about like a game on the iPad with worms? Is it the one where the worms are shooting guns at each other?
No, they're eating.
They're eating.
Eating and growing and growing and growing, and they kill one. If they get bumped, if they bump them, they die. But if they bump him, they die. And
it's like it's like that old school MS-DOS Snakes game or whatever.
Snakes game.
Yeah. That's what it is.
This is what it is, and what, I thought of that with him, but this kind of thing with
sure.
Yes,
that's what came to mind.
So it's in that kind of line, correct?
See, I was almost lost there for a minute. I thought it might be Centipede. For the live listeners of the Uncle Show, you can join in 319-527-5016, 319-527-5016. But yeah, I know what game he's talking about now. The worms, where if the head hits the body of the worm, that worm dies. But otherwise, you can go around and eat the little dots and grow longer. Right, Uncle?
Right. Yeah, that's it. But if they hit you, you're dead.
Got it. Yeah. You can do the 2-player version.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah, snakes, right, Robbie?
It's a snake, and I've got there was another one I got. I sort of like it, but I try to, what I try to do? Shut my door, came away from them, but they jumped on that so dang much, and then his mother calls and.
I know. Yeah,
and it goes crazy.
It gets crazy. You can't even concentrate on snakes.
I can't concentrate on the game.
Which came first, Robbie? Snakes or the movie Tron? Yeah. Which one was it?
I think Tron. Yeah, because I mean, it could have been. Yeah, Snake, I think, was like a knockoff game. It's a knockoff for like those little, calculators or computer systems, home computers. But Tron was the original, the 2-player version.
Yeah.
I'm playing Candy Crush right now. I get on the Candy Crush thing and I can't stop playing that.
Do you ever play those games? The games like Candy Crush and the cell phone ones, Robbie?
You ever play that?
Oh, I hate them. Those are totally beneath me.
Nice.
They drive me crazy.
They're addictive, aren't they, Uncle?
They all them games on them things.
Well, guess what, Uncle? We have a caller on the line, I think. So as Chuck said, you can call tonight, too. The number's 319-527-5016, live every Friday night on Ochelli.com. So call in and join us. Caller, we're going to attempt to go to you now. What's your name and where are you calling from? Caller, you're on the air.
On the air.
I think I can kind of hear you, but barely. Are you there, caller?
It sounds to me like he's trying, but somehow the microphone is not reaching us. But we do know from taking the call from John Gold that it's functional. So, I don't know. If you want to try to hang up and call back in 484 area code, because I won't give your name on air, even though I've got caller ID. Thing is, I would try to call back in. Maybe you'll get a better connection and your microphone will work if you want to talk on the Uncle Show.
Yes. Okay. So please do that. Okay. And in the meantime, we've got Robbie Martin on air. Robbie. What? I was saying in the first hour, I love the retro video games too. I like playing video game music on my guitar. I love playing. One of the songs plays on Ochelli.com from the soundtrack of the Ninja Gaiden video game. I just love playing those songs on the guitar. Do you remember the game Ninja Gaiden?
Oh yeah, that game was really, really hard. Yeah. I hated it. I remember going over to a friend's house to play it, and annoyingly just sitting next to them while they were just playing it, and really good at it, and being really jealous that I sucked at it. And by the end of the day hanging out with them, I just felt burnt out. Why'd I watch my friend just kick ass on this game while I just sat here raging, jealous.
Yeah.
So that's my Ninja Gaiden memory.
That's your memory? Okay, nice.
I'll tell you three games that I would love to hear if Robbie appreciates or not, and they're three totally different games in my opinion. Here we go. Bomb Jack, Spy Hunter, and Tiger Heli. What do you think of those?
What does that sound like?
Spy Hunter. Bomb Jack, I haven't played. I've heard of it. Spy Hunter, absolutely. That was a game my neighbor had. And I remember playing that a lot and enjoying that. The music, too, for that one was great. Tiger Heli was probably the first shoot 'em up, or how do you say it? Show 'em up? I don't even know how to say that word. It was the first proper top view shooter they probably ever played.
Right.
So I definitely played that. And oddly, I think my neighbor had both those games. So I never owned Spy Hunter or Tiger Heli, but he played them. I mean, I remember playing them at his house all the time. NES, yeah.
Right. No, those were great, but the arcade version of Spy Hunter was the best, where you actually had a physical foot pedal and a steering wheel. Did you ever play that one, Robbie?
I don't think so, no, but I sounds familiar. Yeah.
Uncle, have you played Spy Hunter?
No, but I would like to play that one.
It's got the little car, and it's got very rudimentary music to it.
Cars in that wheel, and it's driving?
Yeah, you're driving. Yeah, again, like the top view shooter, this is a top view driver thing where you just kind of go side to side.
It goes
and the little cars come at you. You have to bump them off the road. You have to shoot at them.
It's like a bumper car deal.
It's very much, very much.
Like they have at the fair, but we used to something like that.
It's one of those games that looks super easy, but it's actually incredibly hard.
Right.
Super hard game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a tough one. How often? No, what the heck are you playing, Robbie, when you're doing MAME Politics? How do you have access to all these video games? How's that work?
Yeah,
I have a repository of every arcade game ever made. I own a very, very large warehouse where I house about approximately 5,000 arcade cabinets. They're all wired together, in a patch bay. And every time I want to play a certain one, I will patch it into my computer, from my main studio. So every time I am playing a game on MAME Politics, it is actually activating a real arcade machine in my warehouse, and sort of beaming it via the internet onto my computer.
Oh man,
he would be a. Excuse me.
What? Yeah, what, Uncle?
He would be if he had a son, he'd go crazy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, with them things.
You want a good birthday party? Have the MAME Politics warehouse party for a birthday. Talk about a hit with the kids.
That would be something.
You go crazy for that.
People have accused me of trying to pull sort of a Michael Jackson, so I've tried to avoid. This is actually the only time I've told anybody about this warehouse. I don't tell people about it very often. So,
got it.
Yeah. Hopefully, not very many people are listening.
Okay, so it's not Neverland Ranch. It's for Robbie's only, his personal amusement.
Adults only.
There we go. Very good. Wow. Now, what about the old? I'm just going to list off old games that I loved. Because I was very into arcade games. Oh, do we have a caller? Is there a caller on the line? Caller, are you there?
You there, caller?
Greetings, Aaron, Uncle, and Robbie. It's Robin from Victoria.
Oh, it's him.
Hi, Robin.
Robbie's back. I know Robbie.
Robbie and Robbie.
Robbie and Robbie's back.
Yeah.
What's up?
I listened to the first hour. A great discussion between you guys there. I'll post a photo on. I'll send it to you on Twitter, Aaron. I did my first painting, Age of Transitions, ink painting for you guys.
An ink painting.
Just some of the things you discussed. I wrote some words down, drew a MAGA hat, a few other little things.
Nice.
I felt like being artistic and using your show as a inspiration.
Cool. So, be sure to share that on Twitter and whatnot, so everybody can take a look at that. We're gonna want to see that.
And Robbie, I've been enjoying your podcast there. I listened to the latest one on Q, and I've been keeping up on some of your main broadcasts as well. I've been enjoying those quite a bit, so keep that up, man.
Thanks, Robin.
And speaking about video games, the latest game that I bought, I actually have a normal Nintendo. I got Super Sprint, and I've been attempting to get past the 5th level on that one for a while now. But have you played that one? Do you know that one at all, guys?
You have to have that. Is that the one that works with the power pad, or is that?
It seems to work with any. I actually use an arcade stick because I've got a spinal cord injury and don't have much hand movement, so I need to use the arcade stick. But it works pretty well. It's like an overview street. I guess not street racing, but track racing game with like little upgrades you can get. I guess it's money to buy acceleration and braking and such upgrades.
Definitely. It doesn't sound familiar. In my mind, I'm thinking of like an Olympic racing game when you said Super Sprint.
Okay, no. This is race cars, and it's around a track. But you're looking from above, you see the whole track, and you kind of have to just obviously weave your way and get first. But that's the one that's been challenging me a lot lately, and I haven't been able to get past the 5th level. You might enjoy attempting that one on your show.
I'll check it out. Thanks for the recommendation.
Right on.
That's fun. That's funny. The power pad thing. Yeah, that popped up with I remember the Racing Olympics game, Robbie.
Yeah, that's what you mentioned. You mentioned that for Olympics. Yeah, where you had to like almost run by tapping two things or something. Yeah.
And then you'd have to jump by jumping in the air and landing back down on it.
Uncle, have you ever been into the video games, and what games other than the Snake, that I heard you mention there? Any other games that you enjoyed over the years?
This Doom Buggy kind of game. They have they jump over logs.
They jump over logs? It's not Mario Kart. You're not talking about Mario Kart?
Long Cotton.
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Jumping up and jumping up, and they're going crazy.
Yeah,
I like Marley. That thing go up. He goes up, But I can't sort of find that one. So that's out of the question. But I've been trying to look at these
since
things.
You've played any games?
Any of them, but
did you play like the original one for Super Nintendo, Uncle?
the original one.
The original one. Yeah,
I
I remember
played,
that.
and that's how I remembered. But it wasn't on the one I got.
If you go back and play that one now, it is extremely surreal and trippy.
Right.
Have you done that, Robbie? Like go back and you play that, and it's kind of just like makes you feel, not dizzy, but just the feel that it gives you. That like, it's 3D, but it's also it's the 16-bit and low quality at the same time.
What?
I mean, what do you think about that? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Which Robbie are you talking about? Yes.
Oh yeah.
Which one? One or two?
I know.
So pass it to Robin and
One or
Victoria.
two.
Yeah, Robin. Yeah, Robin. What do you think?
Mario Kart. It's been a while since I've played that one. But my neighbor actually, she was over recently and mentioned that she's been playing that a lot. So I plan to actually buy an arcade stick for the Super Nintendo as well. I've been trying to find it locally, but I might have to go online. But I did always enjoy that game quite a bit, and so I can't speak on the on how it looks now compared to then. But I imagine, like I did, GoldenEye was the game that I played the most when I was kind of in my young teenage years, and recently a friend of mine had that going again, and I was like, oh my god, that's just the graphics.
Oh yeah, but that's a Nintendo 64.
Right
That's the 64 with the GoldenEye with the split screens and everything, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good multiplayer game.
Amazon, you want to get some kind of anything, look on Amazon, because they almost
I haven't heard of that site.
they got most everything in. You just have to look for it.
Yep.
Robbie, Mario Kart, have you played that one recently, or what do you remember about that?
I mean, yeah, I have played it recently, but I mean, I gotta address the elephant in the room here about Uncle. If you're going on Amazon, I mean, let's address the elephant in the room about Uncle and QAnon. I mean, have you been dabbling?
Dabbling.
Uncle, do you know what QAnon is?
I had no idea. I just see these things on the apps.
Well, we're in luck because Robbie is an expert of sorts on QAnon. Why don't you give Uncle the quick rundown on QAnon?
What's a
Robbie?
QAnon?
Well, Uncle, what's your opinion on masks? Have you been seeing anything on the social media channels?
Oh,
Uncle,
masks.
about masks? Yeah.
Face
Where are you
mask,
on that?
yeah,
Where are
yeah.
you on that?
Wearing a mask. How do you feel about it, Uncle? Wearing a face mask when you go out in public and whatnot.
Oh, that. Oh, you talking about? Yeah. It's a problem with me. It's problem when you have the mask on. You have a problem breathing. You got a problem.
Oh, it's hard for
breathing.
you to breathe while you wear the mask.
Sometimes, because when the air comes, and then you can't eat, of course.
No.
So, and you're sitting there, and people, and the peoples, and you have the mask on yourself, on your face, and you're trying to say, what are we supposed to do? You wonder, what are you supposed to do?
You just gotta go hungry down there.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do?
And there we'd be staying, but most of the time, it's when I go out, I do have the mask on, but we carry it in the car, and then when we go out of the car, we take it and put it on, then go into the store. Though we have done that. We've done that for a couple times. Yeah.
I think they need to create like a feed bag mask where you can put food in there, and then you can just tilt your head back, and
I heard
you get like a mouthful of nuts or something, right?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, right. But I've heard something else. I don't know if these people have heard it. I saw it on the news once. You know what they're gonna do? Putting mask and putting a zipper on it.
A zipper mask. There you go.
Mask.
Now
but
you can
it's
eat.
gonna cost a little more money to get the mask.
Well, sure.
Because I guess because of the zipper.
Well, yeah.
But that would more make sense. of getting something like that. And I say, oh, well, I got to get it on. You got to get it on kind of Instagram or get on something. I have to find it. So get on the store, get on your balls and trying to find it. So everybody come and start looking for it.
One thing with the mask, sorry if I can jump in, that's been kind of humoring me with the QAnon folks and the mask is there's kind of a paradox where for the longest time there was all this facial recognition concern going on out there. Obviously it's still there, but now with the masks, everyone wearing the masks, obviously the facial recognition would really be not working all that well. So Robbie, have you seen any explanations that kind of address that contradiction at all in the QAnon world?
I haven't actually. No, I haven't. But it is funny that they're so anti-mask, but nobody's really talking about that. Yeah, that's a good point. Haven't seen anybody discussing that.
Yeah.
There's probably somebody who has though. There's an explanation for everything. There really is. Like they have a narrative for everything.
There is a thing though. The level of people that are alive that's going higher. Where they're supposed to have it going down lower.
Are we talking about population numbers?
Yeah, right. I meant population numbers we're talking now.
Now, Uncle.
And this is crazy. But when they're talking about, we're to 5,000. Oh, no, we're going down to 3,000. It's like it's going like a seal, a zebra thing. And I said, wait a minute. What are we supposed to do now?
Are we supposed to die or stay alive?
Exactly.
What do they want us to do?
That's my point. And now they're talking about should the kids go to school or should the kids do what they're doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? And they're up in the air trying to figure out what they're supposed to do.
Sure.
I mean, this is crazy.
It's insanity.
I mean, in fact, his little daughter, for example, is going to a brand new school for this coming year. And now they're going to say, well, we should be able to go, or we should have to not be able to go.
It's going to be altered, probably.
It's going to be doing it like this. Mm-hmm. You don't know what's going to happen next.
No one knows.
Doesn't sound like Uncle's really been dabbling that much with QAnon.
I mean, no, it's because you guys are talking. I'm getting my chance to talk now. What do you got, man?
Uncle doesn't talk that much about QAnon. The people who are into it seem to talk about it quite a bit. And
but that's what I've been listening to them talk about.
This QAnon thing is interesting, Uncle, and I do know that we know people who are into it that I've deduced due to listening to people like Robbie explain what QAnon is. There's people that you would again, they're just like regular people in quotes that we know that I've come to realize are into this sort of thing. It's basically, so Uncle, a QAnon enthusiast is someone who's basically like a Trump supporter, but kind of on steroids.
A Trump supporter.
And they're online all the time.
Let's get rid of him, man.
You want to get rid of him?
I think he's on the wrong side of the road. For Pete's sakes, we've had a problem with that too. Talking about that for a moment, they had this guy talking about, I'm going to get the economy up. How can you get the economy up when you got all these people at home, can't go out because of this virus going on? And on top of that, the White House is getting it themselves. By one, if something happened to him, you want to see how far it will go? It will drop. It will drop.
Oh, then
Vice
they'll start
President
doing
will
something.
Speak up.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, 'cause in the House already, there's a few people who already have it.
Sure, yeah.
They have it.
Yeah, people have it everywhere now. Yeah, it's really spiking
They're
at the moment.
spiking it up.
I know just everyday life, I know of more cases just in my day-to-day dealings. Yeah.
You just told us this evening that
coworkers
have
coworkers
of his. And I said, we got to be careful now. You're going to go to work. You're going to have to be careful.
I will be.
Whether them keep the mask on or stay 6 feet away from the people.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you get it, I'll tell you, we're going to have to hold up there. Or broadcast will have to...
You have to take me out?
Take you out and
put me out of my misery?
We'll have to hold the broadcast line.
Those population numbers are going to come down.
I can't do it without him doing all this commotion work over here. So you better,
I just can't wait to see that beautiful picture that Robin made. I'm looking forward to seeing
ink painting. Yeah, what is it? What exactly is an ink painting? I'm imagining an ink blot. Like, did you just? What kind of? Did you use a brush
I've got
or?
some it's like a Japanese calligraphy ink that I
Okay.
got at a garage sale a little while ago. And,
interesting. Okay.
And then I've been cutting these cardboard boxes that I get from ordering junk online, and using them as just kind of canvases to mess around on and play with. So I kind of came up with the idea. I've been wanting to get back into doing some more of that. So I thought, while I'm listening to The Age of Transitions today, why don't I attempt to do one of those kind of stream of consciousness paintings and so it came out. It's pretty. You could say if you looked at it from a glance, if it was pasted on, if a homeless guy was holding it, I should say, down the street, you'd probably think that this guy was deep in the meth, and he was kind of off his rocker just based on the quality of the piece. But I swear to you that I'm not on meth, and it's but that's the quality of it. So they'll improve in the future. And then I also got some watercolors that I added a little bit of color to it. So
cool. I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it.
Is it a nice
Post it
small
after
piece?
the show.
Is it a nice small piece?
Is it a nice small piece?
Yeah, it's. I'd say it's small. I don't know if it's nice.
Would be able to fit in the mailbox or yellow box.
I see you're hoping to get this. I was just going to send a photo.
You've been talking about this paintings.
We're going to see it online, Uncle.
I
really don't think it's worth the stamp cost.
Oh, so you're just putting it online?
It's going to go on our Instagram. We'll repost it with your permission.
I'm thinking
yeah,
of that.
absolutely.
You're thinking of looking at it. I'm thinking of seeing if it's going to come. That we have two thing minds going here.
Uncle, online
coming to you digitally.
Yeah. The digital reality and the tangible reality are as one now, Uncle. There is no distinction between the two. So,
I don't know.
I've got a quick question for Aaron and Robbie, and then I'll get off the line. But since Uncle is a part of the Knights of Columbus, do you think a lot of the Knights of Columbus would be followers of QAnon? Is that the crowd? It would be kind of like if Uncle were to converse with one of his Knights of Columbus fellow members and mention Q. Do you think that they would know what's going on and be on board with the Q movement?
There may be a few.
There might be.
There's one that don't even wear one mask. That is.
Oh, really? Oh, well, there we go.
They might be the Q guy.
That's a red flag.
That's a red flag on that.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking, Robbie, now that I mentioned that question, I think maybe the patriots that don't wear the mask, they will be spared the purge. So the directed energy weapons from Elon Musk's new satellites will be used with this facial recognition just to take out those wearing masks. That's my harebrained QAnon theory for that one.
Because just the other day, I was on one of these things, and the first time I was on it, they were in the room. And the fact they only saw one person wearing it.
Really? Wait. But that was on a Zoom call.
On a Zoom thing, yeah.
Yeah. That's not that big a deal.
But no. I mean, in the room.
Were they in a room together?
Yeah, in our room. Only a few of them, though. There weren't a lot of them, and the rest of them were on the thing.
So there was a group of them in a room together physically.
Right.
And they were all on one Zoom.
Just this week, they had the meeting.
Okay.
Of that.
Okay.
And they're having, I get on the Zoom. I can't talk very good on the Zoom either.
It's not like podcasting, is it?
Right.
It's a little bit different.
It is different. But the point is that they were in there and there was one person who was wearing a mask.
I got you. Well,
of course, I didn't see the other one faces. I only saw.
I'm just going to jump off now, guys. Thanks for chatting. Robbie, take care. I will send this photo shortly.
Okay.
Can't wait to see it,
I'll
Robin.
tag Uncle Aaron and Chuck and Robbie there.
Can't wait to see it. Thanks for coming on.
Me too.
All right, there he goes, Robin. Robbie,
wait a minute.
what do you say about all this here?
Yeah.
I know you got lots of thoughts stewing around in your head.
Yeah.
What say you?
The Knights of Columbus. I'm not super familiar. My grandpa was part of the Rotary Club, but there's definitely some connection between QAnon and this sort of American tradition of magical thinking. There's something weird there. There's some overlap there that I hadn't quite figured out, like actual, American occult traditions. And it reminds me of sort of the, this concept of meme magic, like the Pepe the Frog, has some magical qualities or whatever. Some of these weird Trump supporters believe, that there's some relationship there. So I don't know. Like I want to explore that more.
Yeah,
and I'll probably just come off as being a total lunatic as I do, but want to explore the numerology behind QAnon.
Hey, why not? I mean, at the end of the hour there, you were saying how QAnon, in a way, was almost displacing Alex Jones as like the main font of conspiracy culture now. It's like the new mouthpiece, and it makes sense because it's just this anonymous online person. And that's kind of like where everything exists, is like all these anonymous trolls are into this stuff, and then like lo and behold, you've got this anonymous troll at the head of it, and it actually works better to be that.
Well, it's like why not QAnon for president? Like, why not? That's the next president is QAnon, and a totally anonymous 8chan poster.
Yeah. This okay, so Uncle,
that's getting me confused.
You know what a chat room is, right, Uncle?
Yeah, the chat room. They're still chatting and knocking the ears off here, my ear right now.
So yeah, exactly. So here's a chat room here on Ocelli.com. Now imagine if somebody was on the Ocelli.com chat room and they just posted as an anonymous person, because people do that. They're Anon number 4872 or whatever. Now imagine if Anon 4872 posted on Ocelli.com one Friday night when we're doing Uncle the Broadcast, and they start saying, I am a secret government operative and I know exactly what's happening from within the Trump administration. And they start saying these things, and then people don't believe it at first, but then everybody in the chat room starts believing that they actually are within the U.S. government.
Well, we have to investigate.
Yeah.
The word is that guy has to be investigated in the chat room.
Yeah.
That's what it means.
Okay.
Check him out.
Yeah.
That's what it means.
So you're talking about in real life, we need to investigate this.
Investigate the guy.
We have to go off the chat room and...
Off the chat room? No, at the chat room.
We have to get in the chat room.
Yeah. I have to figure out where this chat room is.
Yeah.
Chuck, by the way, where is this chat room?
Where is it? Where is it?
I want to get in case that happens.
Well, what about you, Robbie? What chat room are we even talking about?
I don't even know what chat room.
8kun.
8kun,
yeah.
What's that?
It's what they call a message board.
Oh.
Yeah, message board. It's like a chat room. Very similar.
Yeah.
This is a side note, Robbie, but what do you think about 8kun as kind of like, it almost sounds like a racial slur? Is that intentional, non-intentional? Am I crazy?
I didn't even think about it until you just mentioned it. It could be. I mean, because it wouldn't be a shocking development, considering that the people who've run 8chan and 4chan are neo-Nazi sympathizers, and the entire website is just filled with horrific racist content. No, you're probably right. That connection actually makes sense. So the website also is interesting that 8chan and 4chan have a history of actually like dabbling in child pornography too. So that's one sort of fascinating thing about QAnon, is that QAnon is all about, how these people are secret pedophiles, they're satanic, pedophiles, etc. But like, it just seems like they're projecting a lot of stuff, because they're the first ones who recognized what they believed was code for child porn. CP, cheese pizza, kept coming up, pizza, in the Podesta and the DNC emails. So they believed cheese pizza was actually code for child porn because they recognized that immediately because they were kind of familiar with it already. So it's a really skeezy place on the internet, but somehow, for some reason, Trump's people think it's a valuable arm of their campaign.
It is? He thinks that?
Yeah, the deepest, darkest recesses of the internet. Uncle.
Now I'm getting into serious problems here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This
is not good.
This is not very good.
Not at all.
I see a point why we have to vote
for someone else.
Someone else, definitely, because Republicans are out of that house. I don't care. But my point, they'll be out of that house.
They're out of there.
They're going to be out of there.
They had their shot.
They had their shot, and that's it.
Then they went on this 8-coon business.
And this 8-coon, what he just talked about.
Yeah, we don't want any part of that.
Yeah. That's the worst thing to have.
Absolutely.
That's like having a little kid looking at something and they say that you can't look at that.
No.
Like,
no one
should. You'll be golden, both of them, in the bed. No, you get off of there. You and your wife.
Well, it's serious.
That's serious problem.
It's serious. Good. It's serious criminal activity.
Well, that too
happening online through a message board, and then voila, we get like some sort of weird savior character pop out from out of that low
of it. You don't know what you're gonna talk to, and matter of fact, you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know the guy's face. First of all, you don't know the guy what he looks like. All you're doing is talking like we're doing. Talking to the people back and forth. You don't know the guy's face. What are you going to look at? It's the same thing. It's like these FBI's shows. Oh, he's got to get arrested. We got to find out where he is. All this going on. Back and forth. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah. Robbie, do you know what he means?
What he means?
Kind of, yeah. I'm kind of getting the drift of it, yeah. I want to know, Uncle, I mean, what do you think of Joe Biden?
Joe Biden, he doesn't seem to be the right kind of thing who we have in there now.
Not the best choice, probably, right?
But it isn't the best choice. I would have went a little bit deeper than the one before him if he would have ran and would have gotten up.
We're talking about Bernie Sanders.
Bernie. Yeah, I mean, Bernie more. I think Bernie more makes more sense for the young kids.
Yeah.
If you really listen to him, he made more sense because when I was listening to that and trying to understand what he got through the people to pair what Bryans did, I think it would more go toward the one that knows about the young kids more.
Sure.
I mean, but he said he's still going to report him because he won it. I mean,
What do we do now, Robbie? Do we all have to vote for Joe Biden? Is that the answer?
Yeah. The answer?
I mean, we have to vote for Joe Biden. Otherwise, we will all die in a nuclear holocaust. I mean, that's the only choice.
That's it.
At this point.
That's exactly it.
We can trust Joe Biden with the button.
Yeah, for this reason.
Yeah. So it is that dire right now.
Do you have any thoughts on Bernie Sanders, Robbie, that you want to enter into the conversation?
Other than that, he is a Putin plant.
Putin plant?
Not really. No.
He was more of I think he was more of a younger generation.
No, he's definitely a puppet of Vladimir Putin.
For these younger teenagers is what I was thinking.
He and Vladimir Putin collaborated to flood the internet with Bernie bots, or as they call them, Bernie bros, to essentially divide and destroy the country from the inside.
He did?
Yeah.
I don't know if Robbie actually believes what he's saying, Uncle. But,
I don't believe
it's an interesting theory. I'll give it that.
I don't either.
It's an interesting idea.
But the way he's talked is more like, now, wait a minute. What are we thinking here?
Yeah, I know.
Are we trying to save the wall, or are we trying to destroy the wall? What's the point?
Uncle, no one knows what to think anymore. I think that's the main takeaway here is nobody really knows what to think anymore. So why not just think of believe in the most craziest thing that just comes along at this point? Why don't we do that?
Put whoever in?
Yeah.
there is a legitimately plausible theory that's floating around right now about QAnon, because QAnon repeatedly has said that future predicts the past. So if you really think about what that means, there's really only one thing it can mean, is that QAnon has somehow been able to see through or across time. So QAnon is actually, you can almost describe them as a time traveler, even if they just have the perception to see across time. Some people theorize this could be a quantum computer that is giving QAnon this ability. Other people theorize that it could be an Elon Musk-derived technology from the original Tesla inventions, which included a sort of a scene sphere out of the old lore. So all these things are legitimate, and we need to take them very seriously.
What am I thinking? I forgot all about it. You know what's coming up?
What's
you
that?
hit it on the head.
What?
The computers.
The computer? Yeah, they're here.
And this is what he's saying about the QAnon.
Yeah.
The QAnon.
It's on a computer.
Yeah. Why did I think
So the computers are in the future,
yeah,
clearly.
that is true, and it's coming up.
They're also in the past.
In the past. But
We
pretty soon, all you'll be doing is talking to a computer like this.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Who's
the
there?
future, yeah. I mean, that's what you're doing with QAnon. You're talking to a computer.
You're talking to a computer.
So that's the future. That makes actually perfect sense. The
That
future,
does make sense.
whatever Robbie said there, the future is the past, or whatever such gobbledygook that was. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Yeah. Because look what do we do every Friday night? You see what we're doing?
We talk to
a computer.
Oh my
And
gosh.
here we are doing it.
Uncle, what have we become?
A computer watch out.
Oh my
A computer
gosh.
watch out. That's a nickname for it. Computer watch out.
Boy, I don't know what to think about this. Robbie, do you feel comfortable right now? Are you getting at all upset by any of these revelations, or are you perfectly fine, or what's going on over there?
What's happening?
I mean, it's just, you just got to face reality, and it's just in Q's hands now. I mean, at this point, it's just kind of like, what can you do but just completely give up all of your autonomy and your will, your free will to Q. So I'm taking the oath tonight, and I recommend you do it, Uncle. I recommend that you take the oath as well, because the storm is coming, and eventually this is going to be, pick your side.
I've got something weird since we're talking weird, I got to throw something in here again.
But before you do, Aaron, really quickly.
Chuck's about to take the oath. This is awesome.
No, I'm not. I will not be taking the oath. However, if Robbie can get me an interview with JFK Jr., I will. I will.
Noted.
Thank you very much. Because we all know he faked his death.
I'm doing a special hand symbol right now. You can't see. I'm drawing something in the air.
I believe you.
Okay. Well, do you guys see that video of Robert Kennedy Jr. asked to touch his nose if JFK Jr. is still alive?
No,
I didn't.
He touches his nose.
He
touches his nose.
Oh, well, I guess that solves that. He's alive.
What else do you need to know?
Not much.
Oh, you mean he come from the grave?
Oh. He came from the grave, yes. He's back.
Oh, no.
Out from the ocean, or wherever it was he crashed.
I do know RFK Jr.'s appearance fee is $25,000 up front, by the way.
What's your money to see him then? This is what
I can't afford to see him.
That's what he's saying. To see him, you got to close up that money.
If we take up a collection, I don't know, maybe we can...
Kickstarter.
You got it.
Get him to touch his nose again if JFK Jr. is still alive.
I want somebody to touch their nose while saying tippy toppy and eating chocolate rabbits out of an Easter basket, and that'll just
say it fast.
I won't be. I'll just my face will melt on sight.
You won't say it fast.
The proofs are already out there. We already know. You just really don't need more. I mean, people will always need more and more proof, but those of us who know, and so take the oath.
What about this, Robbie? So you've got all the anti-China business with Trump and all that.
They do.
And then you've got the famous Chinese social media app TikTok being huge.
The problem.
And
people.
then so you've got this anti-China thing going on, and you've
problem.
got TikTok being a huge Chinese internet sensation. Meanwhile, you've got QAnoners using TikTok as like a catchphrase.
Yeah.
What's the connection there?
Well, I mean, the connection is obvious that when Clockwork Knight for the Sega Saturn came out in 1992, China had already started their plot back then. That was not a Japanese video game released by Sega. That was the Chinese government, injecting their software into our brains and into our consciousnesses back then. So this has happened, when we were just children. So there's really not much more to say about what's happening now. It's already in place.
Into that? That's crazy.
What are we into now, Uncle?
Firstborn person got into that fast?
The firstborn.
Yeah.
We're sacrificing our firstborn to Q now? Is that what we're up to?
No, what he was just saying.
Oh.
If you hear what he was just saying.
TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok. The new doctrine will be that you will not be allowed to have a leftist child.
See?
So
there you go. What are you laughing at, sidekick? There's no serious problem here now. Stop me laughing over here.
College enrollment's going to go way down.
Yeah, way.
Just for our own safety, of course, for our own good.
The point I was talking about.
We need to cancel colleges.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, yeah. You know how expensive the colleges are?
They'll save a lot of money.
Holy moly. The way your mother-in-law is talking.
It's not cheap.
She keeps on talking about colleges. Time after time.
Yeah. Too much money.
I mean,
just invest that into some sort of startup company that you can just have your kid start up themselves, and then they live out the American dream. They'll become a millionaire in no time. And that's Elon Musk says that's what you're supposed to do.
Elon Musk.
So that's probably the right way to go about things. Makes sense to me.
Wow. Do you think he's real?
Oh, Elon Musk? I question whether he is, to be honest about it.
I don't think so. I'm at the point that I don't believe that he's real.
Yeah, he's definitely fake in one way or the other, for certain.
I mean, it doesn't add a fact that is even a real person.
No.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
He shouldn't be.
What are we thinking about here? Oh, this
saving the earth with cars.
Yeah. Electric cars.
They're already saving the earth as we speak.
Oh, fact of the matter is, I was walking a dog this evening. Yeah. I saw an electric car.
Oh, good.
White one. Actually with light.
Did you thank them when you saw them drive by?
No, they were juicing it up.
Well, good.
Nobody was in the car at the time.
You should have said thank you for your service and for saving our planet.
If I saw the people, they were.
Oh, you couldn't talk to them?
Yeah, they were in the house or somewhere.
We'll send them a card.
In the neighborhood, that is.
Oh, boy.
Musk. Now I know who we're talking about.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Well, let's know what we're doing with those batteries. Yeah. Let's get moving. I want to know what they can do.
I mean, you're an Elon Musk fan, right, Robbie?
You're a Musk fan?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is he is a white hat in this situation. And I don't know if you saw his recent photograph with Kanye West, but I mean, it seems like Kanye actually might be, more aligned with Q. There might be a switchover at some point where Q, might explain to us that Trump is compromised, that, he might have even been lobotomized by the deep state. Mm-hmm. So at that point, we might have a major transition, but it's still all about Q. So we can't forget that. And we still need to trust the plan. When we go one, we go all. And the storm is coming.
But I've been trying to tell everybody exactly what you're saying.
What kind of storm, Uncle?
Storm is coming.
Which sort of storm? You're pointing vigorously at the computer as
that storm. That's all coming. More coming.
Okay.
More coming.
So you're telling me it's not a thunderstorm?
No, not thunderstorm.
No.
Machinery storm.
Machinery storm. Gotcha.
Sounds accurate. That sounds accurate.
That's it.
Yeah, I think that might actually be true, and I'm not actually joking
definitely
for
true.
once.
Not be true. Definitely true.
Okay. Well, okay.
Because
All
you
right,
see
sorry.
everybody in this house, turn on the switch. Turn on the switch. Radios, turn on the switch. Turn on. Everybody in this house got that. Even you.
Well,
Even
hey,
I know. Even me.
I'm not claiming innocence, Uncle.
But I'm cutting down the one thing, playing the other.
Screen time.
I'm cutting down on the talk show and the phone show.
I think
the phone show.
I think the only thing that anybody should be allowed to do with screens anymore is play vintage video games.
Yeah, that's it.
And
that's all I'm playing.
While they play the video games, they talk about political views and they post those views on YouTube.
Yeah.
And in that sense, Robbie has the he's one step ahead of everybody.
That's the point I was trying to get to. Sidekick, you finally figured it out. That's what I was trying to get to. I just couldn't put it together until
there
you
it is.
said
It all came together at the end.
Until you said it.
That's
what I was trying to put together. What you just said.
Well, you're welcome, Uncle.
Yeah, I was. Because what are we all doing?
Emergency military command.
Playing the games. I mean, and every time, get off the dang thing all the time.
Uncle, let's relax. Much like the Tesla driver in our neighborhood, I think we need to take a pause here and thank Robbie for his service.
Yeah, thank you, Robbie.
Thank you for your service, sir, for playing those video games on the internet.
Yeah, thank you for putting them on.
I appreciate it. And, emergency military command might be necessary to get everybody out there to watch MAME Politics. So if you see Q talking about that, that's the proof that that I actually know who Q is. I know Q's identity. So expect that boom fairly soon.
Nice.
I think it's coming very, very soon.
Now, Robbie, I do seriously want to thank you for hanging around for both hours tonight. It was so much fun to talk to you. I hope sometime you'll come back in the future and we'll talk again, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, and
if there is a future.
Good point.
By the way, you're also welcome to the New Year Revolution thing on my shows.
Yes.
Come out and you can sit on that. That's a new Revolution.
We do a special New Year's Eve show. We will give you the invite to that if you are able to attend. It would be wonderful. Yeah.
Sounds great. Thanks for letting me join, guys.
Yeah, and before you go, why don't you just tell the audience where your stuff is and what you have out there online, including MAME Politics especially.
You can catch MAME Politics live streaming every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And you can catch that at youtube.com/averyheavyagenda. That's my channel name. And if you hit the subscribe thing and then hit the little bell, it'll tell you when I'm live streaming if you forget when it's on. But usually I do it pretty regularly on those days, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And you can also check out my podcast, Media Roots Radio, at soundcloud.com/Media Roots Radio that I do with my sister, Abby Martin.
All right. Awesome. Thanks for coming on again, Robbie. And this is Uncle the Podcast.
This is Uncle the Podcast.
We're on
.com.
Yeah.
And I'm always on Friday nights. So
we're on Twitter and we're on Instagram.
Instagram
at Uncle Podcast.
Uncle Podcast. But I did cut off watching the Moon Show.
Okay. Sorry about that.
What is that called?
The Moon Show. I'm not
looking at the moon pictures.
This is in real life or TV?
No, the real life that we watch. I forget what
I'm not quite sure.
I know these kind of things I forget.
We'll get right back to it.
Back to what I'm thinking.
But that's the show for this week. Do listen every Friday night on Ocelli.com. We're on 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll see you next time, everybody.
Next time. Bye-bye.